Jackson County's struggle over the stadium saga took center stage yet again this past week when leaders missed the deadline to put a special tax issue to voters in November. A 5-4 vote in the county legislature blocked a measure that would have proposed a quarter-cent sales tax benefiting the Chiefs in the stadium complex for 20 years. A group of county legislators had tried for months to put this before taxpayers.
If we're looking out for them, we should present the information the best way we can and let them speak. The reality that we're protecting taxpayers by not allowing them to publicly weigh in on this actually, I think, does a bigger disservice than not.
Now, the chief said they didn't have anything to do with that proposal and are instead talking with County Executive Frank White. Meanwhile, state leaders like Missouri Governor Mike Parson have been in town working to convince the teams to stay put.
We're working this every day. It's kind of one of my priorities before I get out to try to find a solution. But again, a lot of moving parts, but I think the pieces can come together.
The pressure's been on him and other leaders to do something ever since Kansas lawmakers approved a Star Bonds plan to attract the Chiefs and Royals. Both teams have until June to decide if they'll take the deal and jump the state line. Let's discuss with our roundtable of journalists. Please welcome to the broadcast Celisa Calaco, Missouri government and politics reporter for KCUR, and KMBC9 political reporter Michael Mahoney. Let's start with last week's vote. Celisa, we have been here before. What killed this proposal?
I think this is just one of the lasting implications from the vote back in April. You know, voters in Jackson County resoundingly rejected renewing the 3/8 stadium sales tax. And I think legislators saw that, and you know, when they have this proposal to maybe put another ask to voters, even if it's just for the Chiefs, even though, you know, it's just a quarter-cent sales tax, I think they saw the writing on the wall. And, you know, if it had gone to voters and failed again, that would have been pretty humiliating for Jackson County.
For sure. This took weeks of committee meetings back and forth, back and forth. Is it a 3/8 cents? Is it a quarter cent? 40 years, 20 years? County legislator Manny Barker, who we just heard from, blames County Executive Frank White for this. What's your take?
Well, the county legislators, I think, have some responsibility on this as well. I think what he said about County Executive White is correct, and they're not getting any signals or leadership from the teams. In this case, the Chiefs. There's just a vacuum of leadership here, and you're right. Had they put another ballot question on it and it failed, that would have been the end of it. And it's still going to be a real tough vote.
Right. Yeah. Well, we have more than 6 years now until the leases are up in January 2031. Do you see this, Celisa, coming back on the ballot in April or August next year?
I don't think so. I think Frank White has kind of said his piece. He doesn't really support a stadium sales tax anymore. And I think if it went before his desk again, I think he would veto it, and we would see almost like a deja vu Groundhog Day happening of what happened back in January. I think really the ball is in the team's court and also Kansas City's. I think Kansas City Mayor Quinton Lucas has kind of stepped up. He suggested that the city has certain financing deals or financing mechanisms that the county doesn't have. So I think we'll start to see, you know, Kansas City actually taking a more active role, and I think it's done in Jackson County.
Yeah, we have seen some movement when it comes to a Royals stadium with the renderings out last week, trying to show you what a Washington Square Park ballpark would be like near Union Station. Is the city working on that behind the scenes?
No, I think that's a city proposal. I think it's coming from the 29th floor of City Hall. That's the mayor's office. And the renderings are nice, but they're just that. They're just drawings. There's nothing behind them to say it will look like this or it'll be there. But the Washington Square Park is the plan that I think the city is going for, and I think it probably has at least the tacit blessing of the Royals and their owner John Sherman, because they've made it clear they want a downtown ballpark. And then the other thing is, don't forget about Clay County. Okay, that is still out there, still being considered. So again, like the governor said, there are lots of moving parts here.
What do you think this failed vote last week signals to Kansas lawmakers who are champing at the bit to try to get them to come over with the Star Bonds?
I don't think it changes anything over on the Kansas side. They still have their Star Bond proposal. They passed it at the end of their session. They're out of session. They're not coming back until January. So the opportunity out there is still there for Kansas, but we'll see where it goes. And we'll have to see where Governor Laura Kelly tips out on this. So far, she has let the legislature handle the ball on.
Yeah, and really kind of distance herself. She said last Wednesday, look, they're working on that, meaning state lawmakers. I've had nothing to do with that.
Yeah, I think, you know, like I said, I think Kansas put their deal on the table, and it's kind of up to the teams to take it. But I think they're kind of trying to weigh the best deal. That's where the city comes in. I think Jackson County, they've kind of frozen them out. There's been a lot of conflict with Frank White. So I think they're trying to find the best path forward for them.
And don't forget it, at this point, it looks like Kansas is most interested in the Chiefs rather than the Royals.
That's a good point. All right, Michael Mahoney, Lisa Colaco, thank you so much. Count on Heart of the Matter and KMBC 9 News for updates on this stadium saga, including what any new developments mean for you. We'll have those on air and online at KMBC.com.